Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back today. Well, we've got another tool that we picked up. It's a Ronson butane soldering iron slash heater blower slash torch. And I picked it up at Home Hardware for 32 bucks, and it's pretty cool. It actually comes with a bottle of fluid with it to get you going, 42 grams, and the tool is going to suck most of that away because it holds over 20, so it holds quite a lot of fluid. Now we're going to just show you soldering some wires together, solder them onto a little PCB board to show you, just how nice this thing actually works. The other tool I got, by the way, not really part of this, but it is called the helping hands, is what a lot of people have called this thing, and it works awesome. I love it. Now, part of the reason why I bought this tool is because I'm getting sick and tired of using plugged-in soldering irons, especially outdoors when it's cooler out. The soldering irons just don't seem to keep up, and this, at least, I can crank the heat a little higher for the colder temperatures, and it's still going to produce a proper amount of heat to be able to get my jobs done outside when I'm working on the vehicles or whatever it happens to be that I have to do soldering outside for. Now, it does come with some attachments here. You've got the tip that's on here now, which is actually your PCB board tip. When you take it off, you just unscrew it, and that's going to be your heater blower. They also give you a chisel tip for doing thicker stuff for soldering, and then when you pull this whole unit off, that gives you your actual torch mode, which you can adjust the flame lower or higher. Okay, and you've also got a set of vents here to control airflow mixture. Now, I did do some other tests on this, and I didn't want to put them on video after doing them because they were a slight bit embarrassing, and I wanted to actually talk about more of the good points to this so much than the bad, but I'm going to tell you what happened and what I did and what didn't work. But in the meantime, I'm going to demo this tool for you and show you how well it actually works, how fast it heats up. It heats up a lot faster than the plug-in styles. So what you do is you set your temperature to about half, make sure your vents are open, pull the trigger, get it to fire up, push the lock button so it stays running all by itself. Let that heat up for a couple of seconds, just like that. Now my wires are already pre-tinned and they've been on a circuit board before, so this is going to be pretty simple, but we're going to talk about flux too. Okay, so now let's close that off, and we'll check our tip, and it's already hot enough to solder. So let's just solder these two wires. And it's that fast. Boom, boom. Okay? Pretty fast, pretty simple. Undo them, boom. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to solder these two wires onto this little PCB, and we're going to use our helping hands with the magnifying glass. Now our ground wire is already marked that it goes on the ground, so that's the one closest to here. So we're going to just clamp these in. Right there. And right there. This way we don't hit anything we shouldn't. We're going to put a little bit of solder on the tip. Do our positive wire first. That's one. Where'd our other wire go? Ground. And that on there. And that's it. That quick and easy. Removal is the same way, quick and easy. Let's wipe this off the tip. Away from there. There we go. Perfect. I just use a little piece of Kleenex to wipe the tip off. It keeps the excess solder off. So to turn this off, push the lock button, shuts it right off. Okay, so that's our basic demonstration of soldering, and you got to get a set of these helping hands too. They are great, guys. I don't know how I did so long without them, but anyway, so back to the torch here. So I did some testing with the heater blower section of this torch here. It is great for heating the paint up on metal objects that would have, say, a thicker amount of paint to get heated up and pull it off. But with a factory paint job that's like really thin paint, it's kind of useless in that sense. For lifting paint off of wood, little small sections are okay, but you don't want to do anything big with this. It doesn't have the heat capacity diameter wise to be throwing out enough heat to do large items. So it's more of a small job type of thing. For the soldering purpose, which is the main key reason why I bought it, the thing is like top notch. It is like the absolute bestest and coolest toy slash tool for doing this with, because it heats up extremely fast. I mean, a soldering iron, my soldering irons, I have 3 different ones, all different wattage ratings, and even my most powerful one, which is still good for doing PCBs with, it still takes a couple of minutes for it to heat up. This is like a couple of seconds. And you know, this stands up out of the way. I can either leave it running or just shut it right off to, you know, not waste gas. Or a soldering iron, you know, if you hit the cord, the thing goes flying, and oh, it's just a pain. So, you know, this is like great. Butane doesn't cost that much, which is another great benefit. You know, butane's fairly cheap, and this thing's got, you know, good usage of its butane. It doesn't suck it up like crazy. You know, I've been using this quite a bit before I did this video, just to see how it's been operating. Now, as far as the torch portion of this goes, I mean, you pull the connector off, and you've got yourself a good little torch. And you can lower, raise it. You can control your flame to a degree, get a different kind of a flame going, you know, type of thing. And or you can leave it with its most force behind it. For soldering copper pipe together, awesome, perfect little machine. Now, for those of you who haven't seen, check out my video on welding aluminum with the Burns-O-Matic aluminum rods. And I do that actually with a MAP fuel torch, because they get over 3,000 degrees. This thing gets like well over 1,000, which is great. And but it's definitely not hot enough to use that aluminum rod with. So anybody who says they've actually done aluminum welding with even a butane barbecue lighter with that stuff, they couldn't have done very much, because I've tried it and forget it. It doesn't even stick properly. You need that mass amount of heat in the metal itself, not just in that stuff, because that stuff melts at about 700 degrees Fahrenheit for it, but then you still have to have your metal surfaces perfectly and absolutely clean for things to stick, but at the same time, because you're not using flux with aluminum, you're just going straight on. But it would be good for filling holes with very, very thin aluminum. It would probably maybe do it, you know, with this thing. Very doubtful though. You know, I tried it with even the thicker stuff just to, you know, run a bead around. I ran a great bead, but, you know, the pieces wouldn't stick, you know, so it kind of failed there. So very small jobs with this, awesome. You're going to be very happy. A replacement soldering gun, you're definitely going to be happy. It's going to be a great tool for that. It's going to do a wonderful job. And, you know, not only does it save you on the hydro bill, but it also, you know, it's lightweight. It's very well balanced. The anti-slip handle's great. Built-in stand, just stick it aside anywhere. Shut it off to the next time you need it. Fire it back up. Boom, you got instant heat within seconds. Ready to solder. You can't get that kind of performance out of a plug-in soldering iron. It just does not happen. So, you know, worth the $32 I spent on it. I'm very, very happy with it. I think I might even, when I get the extra money that I can afford to do it, I'm going to buy another one of these just as a spare, put it on the wall for in case whenever this one dies, I'll have a spare ready to go. You know, and I know these things get better all the time, you know, on the market, but I really like this one. And so far it's been a really good performer, and I've only had it for a couple of days, but I've put it through a lot of testings in the last couple of days too. And gas usage is actually very, very good on it too. So, you know, if you're kind of worried about, you know, do I have to have a stockpile of butane? Well, no, you don't. But it does come with one here. The tool holds just over 20 grams. You get a 42 gram container with it, so you can fill it like basically 1.5 or 1.25 times. But you can also buy these big boys, 165 grams, and they don't cost that much. You know, so I might get a couple of these because I got a lot of butane lighters around the house too, so I got to keep them running plus this. And it's going to be, in the whole, it's going to be cheaper for me and more economical, because if I do have to do some copper pipe soldering, or if I have to heat up something that's within the limitations of the heat that the flame can produce out of here, this thing is going to be just the perfect tool for that. Now, when you read the manual, a couple of things you're going to find out they tell you about this thing, or what it can do, is you have applications in hobby work, cooking specialties, loosening nuts and bolts and pipes, soldering metal tubing and small pipes with hard and soft solders. The length of the high heat flame is adjustable. You know, and they talk about, you know, for leaded glass work, shrinking plastic tubing, soldering, of course, on PCB boards, which we've already shown you, you know, and soldering wires together. It's a great machine for that. So, you know, I'm pretty happy with it. For anything really heavy duty or heavier duty, not so great. Like I said, welding that aluminum rod, not gonna happen, you know. But has a lot of good useful purposes. Even if you need to start a campfire, you know, why throw in the matches? Just boom, you know, fire up torch mode on this thing and light your little campfire. So it's good for, you know, starting a fire up, you know, type of thing. All kinds of little uses for it. And very lightweight, compact, nicely balanced. The anti-slip handle, rubber handle, is very nice on it too. You know, and it just stores quietly anywhere you want to put it. You know, it's on its own stand. You know, so you don't have to worry about it flying over, or, you know, like a soldering iron, for instance. You know, you knock it with your hand, it goes flying. You turn around your seat, knock the cord, and it goes flying. This thing, it's like it's on your table, ain't going anywhere. You know, so great little machine. So I give this a good thumbs up, 4 out of 5, definitely. And so now if I find other uses for it, I'll definitely list them out. You know, and see what we can do and find out the actual full capabilities of this. I'll let you guys know. If you guys have one of these things already, hey, feel free, please, you know, put your comments in. Let me know what you found for uses and what it can and can't do for the stuff that you're doing with it. And we'll all have that information then too. So till next time, see you on the next video, and happy YouTubing.